Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Louis.
Thank you. You can sit down. Okay, in our previous lesson, we looked at indices, and that was positive and negative indices. You were given letters A to J. You were given the answers to letters A to J. We'll begin with letters K to Z, I think. I hope. Okay, quickly, we'll go through the class and see what your answers are. Letter K, Megan, we'll start from you.
1/16.
1/16, Jake, L.
1/27.
1/27, Boromeo, M.
9/16.
9/16, correct. N. Geno,
8/125.
good. O.
16/81.
16/81. Okay, P.
100.
100. Q. Esther.
100,000.
100,000. R. Gabriel.
1.
1. S.
10 million.
10 million. Okay. T. The answer to T is 1. The answer to you is 1. V. Peter. 1.5 squared.
2 1/4.
2 1/4 or 9 on 4. W. V.
4 and 17/27.
4 and 17/27. X is 1. 1 raised to any power is always 1. Letter Y, Solomon.
1 and 11/25.
1 and
11/25.
11/25. Correct. Agnes. 4. Raylene, -3 cubed is
-27.
-27. Okay, I also gave you the exercise on negative powers, if I'm correct. Yes? Okay. Who's next? Garonamo, the answer for A.
1/8.
1/8. Miriam B.
1/9.
1/9. Then C.
1/25.
Good. Chutaili.
1/64.
E. Ekoy.
1/216.
Velma. F.
1/64.
Good. George.
1/10.
Correct. Ponrelay. H.
1/16.
1/16. I. Tau. Sorry, Kyle.
1/100,000.
1/100,000. Okay, letter J is 1. Letter K is 1/81. Letter L.
1/81.
1/81. Kila. M.
1/1000.
1/1000. N. Livingston.
4.
4 is correct. O. Patrick.
3/8.
3 and
3/8.
3/8. Okay, letter P. Patrick, give us the answer to letter P. 1/4 to the power of -3.
64.
64 is correct. Q. Livingston.
6 1/4.
6 1/4 or 25/4. R. Kila.
1 and 19/81.
1 and
19/81.
19/81 is correct. Lester. S.
20 and 1/4.
20 1/4. T. Kyle.
16/25.
16/25. Ponrelay. U.
16/81.
Correct. George. V.
8/125.
8 over 125. Velma, W.
27 over 1,000.
27 over 1,000. And X.
4 over 81.
4 over 81. Okay, is there any question? I know we've gone a bit faster. Is there any question that you want me to explain? No? Okay. We are now going to look at the third rule. We looked at two rules. One was positive powers. Let me just put that again on the board. So far, we've looked at where A is raised to the power of 1. And then we looked at where A is, let me repeat. Where A is raised to the power of M, and where A is raised to the power of negative M. Okay, this time, we are going to look at, still on indices, but fractional powers and what it means. So this is going to be rule number 3, continuing from what we looked at the previous lesson. All right, this time A is raised to the power of 1 over n. All right, this can also be written as A to the power of, the square root of A. Or we use the root sign. It's not necessarily the square root of, but it's the nth root of. So this means the nth root of the number A. So let's say if the number is 4 and I am raising 4 to the power of a half. Okay, that means the square root of 4. Usually when it comes to the square root, we don't write 2, but this is supposed to be 2. That means the square root of 4, which is 2. If I wrote, let's say, 8 to the power of 1/3. In other words, how many times I'm looking for a number, I multiply that number 3 times by itself to give me 8, or otherwise the cube root of 8. Okay, you don't have to write it like this all the time. So once you know that means the cube root of, or like this, cube root of 8 will be 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. Okay, so is this clear? The third rule is A to the power of a fraction, 1 over n. That means the nth root of A. So if this was 5, that means you're looking for the 5th root of 8. Okay, rule number 4. If I raise A, this time to a negative power, which is negative 1 over n. Okay, this means the reciprocal of A to the power of 1 over n. Or otherwise, if you write it down with an equal sign, then A to the power of minus 1 over n is equal to 1 over, remember what negative power means, A to the power of 1 over n. Okay, just like this one means 1 over A to the power of m. Clear? Okay, I'm going to take you a little bit further and look at rule number 5. Okay, rule number 5 says this. A to the power of m over n. Note, m and n represent two different numbers. Okay, this means the nth root of the number a, then this value is then raised to the power of m. Okay, I'm going to give an example based on that. If I raised 4 to the power of 3 on 2, okay, if I follow this n here is this number 2 here, okay, like here. What I do is I put that as 4 to the power of a half coming from here, and then to get 3 on 2 I can multiply that a half by 3. We're actually going further and getting using another rule that we'll also learn later. But there's a rule, a law, an index law that says 3 times a half. Sorry, when you raise a number like that and then raise to the another power, then you can multiply the indices. It comes in our lesson later on. But in this case, you get 3 on 2 by multiplying 3 times a half. So it's correct to say that. Okay, what this means is that you have to find the square root of 4, and you have to raise the number to a power of 3. That's how I wrote the meaning of that. So a to the power of m over n means the nth root. I have to find the nth root of a, and then I have to raise the answer to the power of m. So the square root of 4, note, you don't have to write it like this if you know that half means the square root of. Just find the answer. Sometimes it can make your book really untidy if you're going to write the same thing over again. So I'll just write the answer to this. 4 to the power of a half means the square root of 4, which is 2. Then I have to raise 2 to the power of 3. Understand? Okay, if you don't, please say so I can explain. The answer is 8. Clear? Okay, I didn't give an example on that. I'm going to give another example. If I raise 4 to the power of negative a half, okay, this means, okay, a to the power of negative 1 over n means the reciprocal of a to the power of this, and I've just rewritten it down. So what I will do is say 1 over 4 to the power of a half. And 4 to the power of a half is the same as saying the square root of. So 1 over 2. If 4 to the power of a half is 2, then 4 to the power of negative a half is a half. Because it should be the reciprocal of this. The reciprocal of 2 is a half. Okay. Now, if you combine, okay, I'm going to put maybe rule number 6. I'll use this one, but this time I'll put a negative number here. Okay, a to the power of minus m over n. Oh. Okay, again, this means the reciprocal of a to the power of m over n. Now, I'm going to use the same number 4, and I'll see if I can write it to a raise it to a negative number. Okay, let me just write this. A to the power of minus m over n is the same as 1 over a to the power of m over n. Okay, if I can use that number, so it's easier. 4 to the power of negative 3 on 2 should be the reciprocal of 8. Okay, we'll see how we get there. What you do is you find the nth root of 4. Instead of raising it to the power of positive 3, you raise it to the power of negative 3. So the square root of 4 is 2, then 2 to the power of negative 3, and following that rule, 1 over 2 cubed, which is 1 over 8. Is this clear? Okay. I'm going to give you 1 or 2 questions to do, just to do, and because note I've given you whole numbers only. I haven't given you any fractions yet. Okay, you see if you can do letter A, letter E, A and E quickly. I'll give you the notes on our chart, so don't worry about the notes yet. I'll write it up properly and give it to you because we don't have enough time. Finished? What's the answer for A? 121 raised to the power of a half. 121 raised to the power of a half? 11. That means the square root of 121. What about, what did I say, E or F? E. Okay, E, the answer will be a half. One more. See if you can do letter L. Eight to the power of 2/3. Anyone with an answer to letter L? 4. Okay, don't shout. You're supposed to put your hand up and give the answer. The cube root of 8 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Okay, I did not give you any example based on fractions. I am hoping that you remember what I said the previous lesson about when you are given a fraction raised to a negative power, what do you do? Okay, I mentioned last lesson. So what you're going to do is on your worksheet, you're going to do all the questions that are circled. Those are the ones that are on the screen. For instance, letter A there is what number on your worksheet? 3. So only the circled ones. The circles, maybe they are not that clear. All of the circled ones for homework, please. Except for letters A, E, and M. Sorry, L. The rest you do for homework. Clear? Okay. The keyword to the model teacher is fractional powers. I have to let you go to your next class, so can you stand, please? Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon. Thank you.